Footwork. So basic footwork we start with is, of course, circle step. In, out, all right? Lots of people struggle with this. Couple things, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time with it, but when you do this, the back foot is driving, not the front foot. The mistake people make is if you tick, right, and you can't do this. If the foot points out, you can't do a proper circle step because you're dragging the foot in. There's no speed that way. So the idea is, what they always say is take the knot of your belt and drive that forward, like you're almost punching somebody with it. Obviously, you know, I'm not going to bend my back, but if I focus on keeping that ahead of my upper body, I naturally push off this back foot. And again, it comes in and then out so that they are shoulder width. So start shoulder, circles in, circles out. Make sure the knees and the feet, if I pause, are here. This is also for those of you setups where it would occur, all right? Don't get sloppy with it. Nothing out like this, nothing out like this. All right? Part of the problem is this foot just drags along, and this is what the whole thing looks like. And then they drag. This is easy. Right? It's relaxing because I'm not engaging my calf, which means I'm also, my weight's on my heel. I really want to make sure my toe, my weight stays on this foot and engaged, so that's tracking as close to front as I can. 45 is okay, but anything more than this is not okay. All right? Because I want to be able to push off and strike somebody with the technique. So that's basic footwork, of course, is forward and backward circle step. Where people start getting confused is when we get into crossovers. So everyone knows how to do a crossover, or at least are learning how to. And the fact that a front crossover is toe to toe, but the mistake people make is they take like this big step and they do this. Right? I gotta turn this, whether I'm doing a round kick, or in the case of side kick, or a back fist, this foot has to stay there because the stance that follows this up is a horse stance. See how the foot's already right there? Right? So especially in the case of a round kick, I've got to have that foot turned for the kick itself. The other mistake is when people do these crossovers, because this foot is this way, this brought my whole chest that way. Right? Now I'm going to get punched in a sparring match. I have to keep my shoulder to the side and my hip to the side. My hip can blade out a little bit for the round kick, but I'm still pretty much covered in that moment. The other thing is the crossing foot, the foot that's moving, is what gets all the weight. Right? There's very little weight right now on this leg because I want to be able to kick with it or step with it. Even if I'm doing a retreat step and I shuffle up, it's still here and then back. Right? Rear crosser is the same idea. People tend to over-rotate. Keep your shoulder on your target. Knees bent. This foot is the one that turned. Again, I'm not going way past my heel. All right? It's just in line with the heel. And that's all it is. All right? It's simple, but everyone, because it's a little uncomfortable, kind of like in the front stance, they're not engaging their toe. This is easy. The calf is disengaged, and I can stand here all day. This is a little uncomfortable. All right? But it's because my muscles are loaded. All right? This foot is ready to spring. Up here, all right, it's just there, all right? It's not, from here I can move, I can kick, I can, if someone shoves me, I can have balance. This is just dead in the water. So these are little simple fixes to something you're doing a lot of, your crossovers, your circle step, but they're necessary, right? And part of what we can use with this month is to take the things that are necessary that we're slacking on a little bit because of all the other kicks and katas and self-defenses that we normally have to do to get ready for testing, and we can really dial in and make these better. And what you will find is when you get better at this, and this is what people don't understand, especially at lower ranks, is this simple little thing as far as shoulder, all right, as far as where I put my weight. Now all of a sudden, this stupid little crossover that everyone thinks is easy, you've refined it to the point, now you're not getting hit as much. Right? Now your techniques are hitting more because you're moving faster, because you're off guard. You have more options. All right? That's what the basics do. Is this foot, people don't think it's a big deal. All right? And because they move pretty quick or they're hit with a lot of power. When they start, and when I make them do this and they have to think about it, it throws their whole body off whack. But what you will find is if you took this and you could actually measure your speed, you can measure your power, and then you train this until this is instinct, you would find that this is significantly faster and produces significantly more power if you give it a chance and put in the time to do it. All right, so that's for basic footwork. For advanced ranks, you have, of course, your sliding, footwork places first, and jumping in, all right? And then your offside and your retreat spin and step spin. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time sliding and jumping in, all right? Focus on the crossovers. Spins and step spins, just for everyone to get, is we have turns, all right, which is what's used to face a different direction. That is a turn. A step is when the foot changes, the foot in front changes. So stepping, walking, circle step, right? Retreat, circle step. Retreat, stepping for a back kick, right? A spin is when I have to take, and a shuffle, of course, is when the same foot stays in front. A spin is different from the turn because it's a full 360 degrees, but I have to take my eyes off my opponent. All right, that's where you know you're doing a spin. If I'm looking at somebody, all right, and I just move this way, that's a shuffle. If I move this way, that's a step right here. This was the step. But if I have to do this, that's the spin. Force me to take my eyes off my opponent. Same thing forward. This would be a step. That's a spin. All right? So you have to know which one those are. As far as for efficiency, you want to train it slow with fluidity because you can't stop in the middle. People train the back kick and they step really quick, and they're not looking, and they pause, and that's when they get hit. So you have to work it slow. So if I'm going to do a retreat step or even a regular spin, is I keep looking, look over the shoulder, and as soon as I see the target, fire. Right? I never stop moving. So train it slow without a pause. Right? Same thing with your step. I don't step this way. I step ready, and I combine the spin. Now I'm ready to fire. So it's the same thing. I step straight. I don't swing my leg. All right? I step straight, and I let my hips turn at the moment my foot touches. And I'm looking over my shoulder. So here, and then I can just fire the kick. Same thing with the retreat step, right? I'm looking away, this touches, and I'm already looking. And then if I'm doing a kick right there, that's the retreat step. It can go any angle. Finally, offsides. This is for green belts. The mistake people make on an offside is they don't pay attention to distance here. Because offside is, we do it in sparring all the time. Shuffle, if the person's right here, all right, sparring shuffle, step. All right, that's the offside movement. Where they mess it up for the round kick or the knee is if this is my person right here, and I'm going to hold them out, is this is not offside for my round kick. It's a diagonal motion. It can help me with a punch, but I can't do an offside kick because I'm not in line. Whether it be a shuffle or a step, I have to move so that my shoulder is lined up with their shoulder. If I'm in front even 2 inches, that you can see my kick comes forward this way. So this is, try to stay home. All right, so this is the person right here. All right, I have to move so that my shoulder is level with them. Then I throw the kick or the knee. I do not throw it from out here at all. All right, and it comes down to distance and everything. And again, flow. I don't want to do this. Step, pause, and then kick. I have to train it so it becomes step, chamber, kick in one motion. All right, or if I'm doing this, shuffle, chamber, kick in one motion. All right, so those are your beginner, intermediate, not so much advanced, but beginner and intermediate shuffling, stepping, footwork. Drill it, work it. You still got the sparring ones, right? The sparring shuffle that I've been working on with the angles. Work it, make it automatic. The more you work it, the faster you're going to be at it, the more distance you cover, the harder you're going to be to touch, the easier you're going to be able to hit somebody else. So drill this. I'm not even giving you a number because you can never drill this enough. You can, if you talk to professionals, what do they drill? Footwork, footwork, footwork. You watch professional boxers, 90% of their training isn't punching, it's footwork. So I'm not going to give you a number. Just train this And if you think you got it, that means you're just starting to crack the surface of how much you have to train this. Train it until you are so blasted sick of it that it makes you want to vomit just thinking about it, and then practice it more. Get to work.